Josh Hennig here on 97.3 ESPN, UFC 260 Saturday night, ESPN Plus pay-per-view. And, of course, we get the return of Sugar Sean O'Malley back into the octagon. He's a part of the Miocic versus Ngannou 2 pay-per-view on Saturday night. Sean, how you doing today?
Doing good. Just had a little coffee, so I'm feeling good.
You know, man, listen, a lot of people have been looking forward to your return in there. Obviously, your last fight didn't go the way you wanted to. You talked about how you had a little drop foot from that, but you're better now. How's the training camp going, and how are you feeling going into this fight?
Yeah, the training camp was awesome. I got my results back today with COVID-free, so it was a little stressful knowing in the back of the head, seeing all these fights falling out. I just wanted to get to the fight. I wanted to, Thomas to get to the fight, get to the hotel, get COVID-free, and it was a little stressful just having that in the back of my mind. But other than that, the fight camp went great. Had awesome training camp. Everything went good.
You mentioned now it's been stressful having to wait for the test to come back and everything. How has that affected your mentality as a fighter preparing for this? Because obviously this is a situation that no one could have foreseen or prepared for a year ago.
Yeah, I just would remind myself it's out of my control. If it happens, it happens. But it was still lingering in the back of your mind that you could wake up and say, "Hey, the fight's off." So it was. This is my third fight in the COVID, the COVID bubble at the UFC Apex. So it's I've done it a couple times, which definitely helped. But I was just hoping Thomas wasn't walking around the airport trying to lick things, trying to get COVID. So, but we're good.
Sugar Sean O'Malley fighting on UFC 260 Saturday night. ESPN Plus pay-per-view is where you watch the fights. Sean, you're one of the big up-and-coming fighters in the UFC. A lot of people love watching you fight. But one of the things people might not know about you is that even though you have all these knockouts on your resume, you're a guy with a great grappling background. Talk about how being a well-rounded mixed martial artist has actually put you in a position to have the success that you've had.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing, we haven't really seen much of my grappling in the UFC. Much, but just the confidence knowing, because that was the biggest thing. Even when I got signed, my grappling wasn't where I wanted to be, but I really focused the last 4 years on doing straight jiu-jitsu, understanding jiu-jitsu, wearing a gi, training with Augusto Mendez, who's one of the best grapplers in the world in my weight class, and just kind of falling in love with jiu-jitsu and grappling in general. I hated wrestling. I didn't mind jiu-jitsu. I hated wrestling. Now wrestling practice, just grappling practice live from the feet is my favorite practice of the week. So just getting the confidence, and then competing at Quintet, I think it was 2019 or whatever it was, December, and choking out Takanori Gomi, going a live or a 8-minute match with Gilbert Melendez, grappling with these really good guys, and showing where my jiu-jitsu's at, showing me where my jiu-jitsu's at. Gives me confidence to go into the octagon and not be worried about, oh no, if I get taken down, I might get held down, I might lose by that. But now going into these fights, I'm like, I might choke this dude. I'd prefer to knock him out, but I very well could choke this guy. So yeah, it's my confidence at an all-time high.
Sean O'Malley joining us here on the Boardwalk Hunter Hotline, UFC 260 Saturday night, ESPN Plus pay-per-view, where you can catch all the action. Sean, you've had some changes in your life over the last year. You now have a daughter. How has that changed your perspective as a fighter and on life? Because it really seemed like, you were, going into the fight game, you were rising, and now you have a daughter. And for a lot of guys, that kind of changes their perspective a little bit.
Yeah, it's been good. I think, this time last year, I was coming off a win over Jose Quinones. It was a 2-year layoff, and Danny, my wife, had told me she was pregnant right before I fought Jose. So, her first trimester, I fought Jose. Her second trimester, I fought Eddie. Her third trimester, I fought Cheeto. And then a couple months later, Elena was born. So, it's been good. It's been a fun process. I've wanted kids since I was 12. I remember breaking up with a girl in middle school because she didn't want to have kids. So it's been cool. Elena was definitely an accident, and then Danny just being the best mom ever. It's just so natural to her, and it's cool to see their connection. Learning a lot about breastfeeding, and just watching that whole process has been so informative and awesome. It's really cool to see. So as far as motivation to win because I have a daughter. It's not, there's not more motivation. I wanted to win bad before I had a baby. Every single fight I get in there, I want to win. I'm a competitor, and that it hasn't changed. But my perspective on fighting, it's always been before a baby. I just want to take care of my brain. I want to be able to be healthy when I'm older. So my style is kind of, hit, not get hit. And that's how my style has been the whole time. And it's just, it's the same thing. But yeah, I definitely want to take care of my brain and be able to raise Elena.
Sean, let's give the folks a little bit of chance to get to know you a little bit more. Obviously, as a UFC fighter, people only know you for inside the octagon, but they might not know you outside. What's the story behind the hair? We got to understand the story behind the hair, man.
Yeah. I remember I wanted to do something crazy. This is an entertainment business, and I've understood that before I got into the UFC. I kind of thought about it that way before Conor, but when Conor got into the UFC, and I was like, damn, that is doing it right. He's blowing up. He's wearing this. He's saying that. He's different. So coming into the UFC, I always thought I was different anyway, just because my style of fighting. I'm a skinny dude, and I knock people out, and not just knock people out, like put them to sleep. So I knew I was different anyway, but I'm like, we need to enhance that. We need eyeballs, and the hair was one of them. And honestly, 6ix9ine, the rapper, kind of inspired me with the rainbow hair, and we did that. So this weekend we got, and Danny, my wife, does hair. She I like to say she's a black belt in hair. She's a professional, and so we go into the salon, we sit down, and she gets creative, and it's fun for her. Not so fun for me sitting in the chair for 4 or 5 hours, but yeah, the hairs just stand out. Let's be seen. I want to knock people out, and I want people to remember me. So that's kind of where we get that from.
Love it, man. Love it. All right, one more before I let you go. I know you got a busy schedule today. Sean, when you win the fight Saturday night, you're going to get back on your Twitch stream. You're going to get back into your gaming. You're a huge gamer. What's the first game you're going to play after you win Saturday night?
Yeah. It's been a long 8 weeks. I haven't been streaming nearly as much. I love gaming with the boys. I've actually met a lot of people, good friends that I flew some Twitch subscribers out to my house, sparred with them, hung out with them, brought them to the UFC fights before. So yeah, my Twitch community is huge, and haven't been able to stream nearly as much. But I'm definitely playing some Call of Duty Warzone, probably Resurgence. Right when we get back Monday, I'm gonna hop on with the boys.
Now, is that PS or is that Xbox?
I play on PC with an Xbox controller, so I'm kind of a lot of people don't like that. They're like, just play with mouse and keyboard, but I've been playing with a controller since I was 4 years old, whether it was the Nintendo, the 64, the whatever it was. So it's I can't get away from the controller, but I play on PC.
Nice. That's Sean OMalley, UFC on Twitch TV. He is Sugar Sean OMalley, fighting UFC 260 Saturday night, ESPN Plus pay-per-view. One of the fastest rising stars in the UFC. And as all guests, he appeared here on the Boardwalk Hotline. Great stuff, Sean. Appreciate talking to you today.
Awesome. Thank you so much.